Okay, welcome back to the deep dive. You know that feeling when a goal just seems vague, like it's out there, but there's no clear path?
Or maybe an office project feels kind of tangled, like who's meant to be doing what and when. It happens all the time.
Yeah, exactly. So for this deep dive, we're digging into just one source text. It lays out a pretty structured way to handle office planning.
Right. And our mission here is really to unpack what this text says are the essential steps. Not just, generic advice, but its specific process for getting things done well in an office.
Okay, so let's kick off where the source does. What even is planning? It says planning is basically achieving a goal by mapping out and then implementing activities,
Yeah.
considering time, resources, manpower,
It's about turning that idea, that goal, into something concrete, actionable.
making it real. And this
Good.
source gives us, what, 7 key points? A framework?
Exactly. 7 steps. And the first one is, well, foundational. It's about understanding the office's vision and mission.
So, knowing the long-term goal, the why behind it all, where is the office trying to end up? Because, yeah, if you don't know that,
The rest is just guesswork.
yeah.
Exactly. And then, step 2, right away, is assessing the current situation.
Okay, grounding that vision, what's happening now?
The text says you need to look at everything, your people, materials, budget, the work environment. It's all about seeing your strengths, weaknesses,
Opportunities, threats, like a SWOT analysis, basically.
pretty much a good look at where you stand.
Okay, so you've got the big dream and the reality check, the gap between them. That's where the problems or challenges are, which leads to step 3,
Identifying the steps to solve those problems or bridge that gap.
the specific actions.
Right. And the source really pushes for these steps to be smart.
Right.
Specific, measurable.
Achievable, relevant, and time-bound. So you know exactly what needs doing and you can track it.
Precisely. No fuzzy objectives allowed.
Okay, actionable steps are defined. But what do you need to actually do them? That sounds like step 4.
Identifying required resources. The text is straightforward here. Manpower, money, time, materials.
The practical stuff. What inputs do you actually need?
Yep, you got to figure that out.
Resources figured out. Step 5 then gets into the nitty-gritty, detailing the work division.
Exactly. This is the who, when, and how. The source mentions dividing up the labor, who owns what tasks.
Setting a schedule to...
Oh, yeah, a clear schedule. And performance guidelines. It's all about accountability and clarity on the actions.
Okay, so we've got the vision, the current state, the smart steps, the resources, and who's doing what when. Seems like a solid plan, but what comes after making it? Step 6.
Monitoring and evaluation. Super important. The source makes it clear. A plan isn't something you just make and forget.
Right, it's not static.
You need a system to check if things are actually moving forward as intended. Spot issues early. It's that feedback loop.
Makes sense. And the final step, number 7.
Discussing and approving the plan with stakeholders.
Getting buy-in.
Absolutely. The source really stresses that involving the people who are affected or responsible, well, it builds commitment, gets everyone pulling in the same direction.
So it's a full cycle. The why, the what is, the how, the with what, the who does what, the tracking it, and finally the everyone agrees.
That's a good summary. But the source adds something crucial right at the end of listing these steps.
Oh, what's that?
It hammers home that just making the plan,
Hmm.
that's not enough, not even close.
It's the follow through.
Consistent monitoring and, actual implementation. That's where success or failure often lies. A great plan on a shelf is useless.
And it also says it's not just a one and done thing, right?
Definitely not. The process needs review, needs improvement over time. It's supposed to be adaptable, a living thing, really.
Okay, so this deep dive really shows office planning, according to this source, as this structured but also flexible process. You start with clarity, assess reality, define concrete steps, get your resources.
Assign the work, keep an eye on progress, and make sure everyone's on board.
Right. And that final thought the source leaves you with is pretty powerful, isn't it?
Yeah, that success really comes down to the practical stuff. Using the plan, watching it, and tweaking it when you need to, not just having the perfect plan itself.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? Where's the real bottleneck in your office? Is it the planning, or is it more about the doing, the monitoring, the adapting? Something to chew on.
Definitely something to consider.
Okay, that wraps up our deep dive for today.